Hi, welcome to this multi-part series on how I built this non-cantilevered bottom supported balcony. So let's get started. Hi, welcome to part one of building this bottom angle brace supported balcony. And before we can go forward, need to go backwards and need to take a look inside the wall and see what I had to do to make it strong so that I could do what I did here. So let's get started. Okay, so here we are at the beginning, and before we can do anything, we have to make sure we have strong bones and teeth here. So again, this is a this deck is supported with angle braces that tie in right here because my joists run this way, so I can't cantilever. I can't cut slots through the rim joist and then go deep into the joist and tie into them because they don't go this way, they go this way. So our balcony is going to be 12 feet wide by 4 feet out, and then supported at 3 feet out from the wall. So here is our corner outer post. So I've added a stud here to make a post, to make a stud pack. I've bridged it, and here is the center. Here is 6 feet here, so the post, you see, the angle brace will sit in between these and span across 3 of these studs. But in actuality, they're not really 3 independent studs. These act as one. This is one post, one piece of wood, and you can see in here when I give it the kick test, that is quite sturdy. Oh, another thing, while we're down this corner, when I put the OSB on, it's going to go from the corner back over to here. It's going to be 8 feet, and it'll come right to here. Then this will be this styrofoam insulation here. I mean, I'd like to go all the way over, and there's no reason other than cost. The stuff's everything's getting expensive, and you know, to cut one up, to fill it in, that gets expensive. And as long as I got the 8 feet here, I am good. So that angle brace, the OSB will go on here, and then the angle brace will sit down on it with that 2x4 pressure treated 2x4 outside of it, and that OSB will really distribute the load. And when I get up there, I have to do the same thing. You see, they just can't just get over this. They put this OSB here, and then, you know, where it needed to be the strongest, just put this crappy blackboard. So this will be OSB all the way across as well. So we've already talked about the center. No, the center post is over there. So here's my end post. Did the same thing. Added some bridging, and again, we are spanning across 3. Think of it as 1. There's my center, so there's my 30 inches. So that's where that angle comes in, and then the pressure treated 2x4 on top of OSB sits out here, and it'll all be flashed and sealed and everything. We'll give this a kick test. Good and sturdy. I can hear that a piece of sheetrock needs a few screws in it, but now all I need to do is add some more insulation and put the styrofoam in here. Then I can add my OSB, and we can start putting siding on and closing this up. Okay, got my sheathing all up, styrofoam up, got everything mostly taped, and honestly just using whatever I had. When it was duct tape, a little bit of Tyvek tape, because that stuff's expensive. Just taped that all up, down along the bottom. So next I made my 3 templates for where my posts, my posts are and my braces are going to tie in, and made my Tyvek line so I want this stuff hanging over, because when all this stuff gets ripped off, this is going to go down into there as the siding lays over it. So you know, here we are, we got our left hand. This has a wrap around because I've got a repair around the side to do as well. And the center and my right hand, and I'll run the Tyvek down to here for now. I got to take care of that. As you see, need to get a little styrofoam up in there, and then aluminum flashing is going to go down over this from just about, this is the top of where that angle brace will come in, and so the flashing is going to go up just above that, and then the using ledger bolts, because we got this good post up in behind here. This is where the angle brace for the balcony will come in at an angle, and then there's going to be a pressure treated 2x4 sitting right out here, and it's going to be cut at an angle. We're going to rest on top of that, and then my siding will be on either side of this, and then caulked real good. So next that I've got my templates off, and see I've got references down here as to where to line everything up, so I know where my posts, where I know where my support, and I know where my flashing is going to go, because this is about to all get covered up with Tyvek. Okay, making really good progress here, as you can see. This is mostly by myself, but I do get some help from Alex, one of the neighborhood kids, so shout out to Alex. So here is the center support for the angle brace for the balcony, and this is what it looks like as I'm getting it ready. I went ahead and put a little bit more flashing in there just in case, because you can see it's, you know, we've got some, I mean, this will get caulked, and then when the 4x4 is in here at an angle, it will be caulked all around, but still that extra flashing, as you can see, goes out to here as a just in case. And here's what we look like at the end, and this will get brand new hardy plank corner boards here. And then I just need to fill a little bit in of siding in here, which honestly I will probably just caulk that, use a silicone adhesive to get that in, because it'll split otherwise. So there we go, looking real good. All right, the bad section of second floor rim joist is mostly replaced. I need to pull it in a little better, and actually I'm gonna go up inside, and since the carpet's out, I'm gonna pull up, cut some of the floor, the subfloor up, and I'm gonna put some 90-degree angle brackets on the inside to fasten it in a little better and make sure it's fully grabbing, because the ledger board for the deck is going to be along this and trying to pull away. Okay, with the wall all boosted as it needs to be for the angle brace supports, and the siding back up, and the ledger bad section of rim joist replaced, 7 feet of that. Got my membrane up. It's just because of the way I had to work with my schedule and the weather and everything. I had to have the building wrapped first, and and then put the membrane on the outside. Ideally, it should be underneath it, but it's okay as long as stuff is done in a shingled fashion, so any water that gets in can get out. It's all right. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. So got my layout done. I'm running the ledger all the way to the end here so that I have the added board I need to be able to put ledger screws, ledger bolts in the end. Otherwise, if I just ran it to like here, then my ledger bolts would be here and it'd be interfering with the joist hangers, and actually with them so close, kind of weakening it. I've pre-drilled, I've done my layout, and normally you could stagger these further, but because this is a balcony supported in 3 places at an angle from the bottom, I wanted a few more. I actually staggered in between each joist. I did 16 inches from the center to each end, and when we get into here, I just had to space them closer. So this one will be is effectively a foot on center in between, and same thing here. Pre-drilled, so I'm all straight. I am putting up this in 2 sections because one section is just too heavy for me to handle by myself, and actually it's a little bit over 12 feet. You know, if I wanted to have if I wanted the length I needed, I would have had to get a 16 foot and then waste that much off it. So I've got like a 5 foot or 7 foot section, and this is 68 1/4. And when we get it up into I might end up shaving a little bit off it. And so when you do your layout, have your joist hangers handy, so you make sure your ledger bolts aren't interfering with them, or vice versa. And I would have loved, I couldn't find the face mounted ones for the ends, so I do have these kind of ugly ears, but I'll have a solution later on down the way to kind of cover that up and get rid of that. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get some ledger boards up. Okay, so how I'll do this, you see I've got it on the ladder here, and I know I can lift it up. That foam right there is the spacing I need to get it up to the right height so that this exterior ledger is lined up top and bottom with the rim joist that's in there. So I don't have sheathing in between, you know, transversing from top to bottom here. So it's cut out exactly where the rim joist is, but there is a little bit of a gap between where this stops and that one starts. So that foam right there is my spacer to, let's see, you'll see when we get up there, so that this is up high enough so the bottom of this is lined up with the bottom of the rim joist. And I've got my marks here transferred from my post here all the way up, so I'll be able to line this up. This ladder here is so when I scooch this up, and it'll come up underneath the ladder, and that will hold it. You know, another person would make this a whole lot easier. And I've got the same thing here. I've got my lines lined up with my center angle brace support. So I'll get everything lined up once I get it up there, and then fasten it in. Okay, got the ledger scooched up there, and so I'm going to just verify my my marks line up from down here to up there on the ledger on both ends. And you see it's resting on the foam, and when I scooted up, it knocked off one of my little rubber cushions there, but it looks like it's pretty much in place. I'm just gonna double check this a little bit closer from different perspectives, and then I'll be able to fasten it in. Okay, so here's a close-up of just getting this ledger board settled in place. So you see I've got it resting on this foam to bring it up to the right level. That foam will come out, and I got this kind of just hanging off the top of it, and you know, and it's for the most part level. So, you know, that's important right there. And that appears to line up good on this end and on that end. So I am getting ready to go ahead and drive that ledger bolt in and check it again. Okay, have one ledger bolt in, as you can see, and it still appears to be level, so I'm going to tack in one or two more on the ends and then check it for level, check it for plumb this way, and that helps you avoid pulling these in too tight. You know, plus, you know, you'll know it if you go too deep far into the wood. So we'll get this tacked up, and we'll get the other half put on down there. Okay, and this is what I'm using for my ledger bolts. These are 3.5, which are just fine. They just poke through a little bit, and I do have some 4s here as well. So no one would ever be able to see it from the other side, but if you were down in the basement or whatever, putting the deck on the first floor, you know, during an inspection or whatever, they're going to they're going to look on the backside of your rim joist to see that it comes through, pokes through a little bit. So let's see if we can capture screwing one of these in. All right, well, that's looking pretty good. I'll go ahead and get the end down there tacked in, then get up our other section, because then I want to get this top flashing in, and I need to fill this as well, and then be able to drop the flashing down right on top of this. Okay, second half of ledger is up, and it is level. Whoops. There we go. And it is plumb, so yay. It's tacked up. I have a few more bolts I need to get in, but it's up there for now. So this can come out on the bottom, which was just there to give it, you know, space it up right. So this is my bottom drip edge flashing, and that leaves a way for water to get out. And now I gotta go put on the top side of it, and then some more membrane over there, and we'll just have to I need to fill that gap with some styrofoam, just like this, but it'll be face out. Really the only reason I need to do that is because it just creates a highway we have a problem with those giant palmetto bugs down here in the south, aka roaches. They're the giant ones that are like, you know, 2 inches long or so, and they just, man, that would just be, hey man, let's create a little place right here. So don't want that. Okay, ledger board, both sections tacked up, level, plumb, and in place. Need a few more bolts to finish that up. Got this bottom gap opened back up, got that spacer pulled out, and the top flashing is taped in place. Okay, well that's it for part one of building the balcony. Part two is going to follow right on the heels of this, so stay tuned, and that will be building all the framework, all the structure, and then part three, which will come right after that, will be the decking and the railing. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and grab your posts and smash that down on your like button. Please subscribe, comment, share, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.